All right, another episode and another game mechanic. Pendulum is now part of the game. Very exciting, but even more exciting, we have a ban list, which hit my Dragon Rulers really hard, but it's probably for the better. But I do have a couple ideas to actually still make that deck work. But in all honesty, with Duelist Alliance coming out today, I'm very excited to hopefully move past that and into something even better. There's BA, Shaddolls, Teller Knights, so many options. Really, the sky's the limit. Not only that, we're going to be opening a bonus set today. Since I won last episode, I get to handpick any set from the past in the Zexal era. And since Ricardo lost, he gave me two options, and I actually chose the one that didn't include Quasar because, well, the last thing I want is for him to start throwing Junk Doppel back at me again. So he's going to get to open gold, which is kind of nerve-wracking because there's a lot of great staples. But first, before all these crazy openings, I just want to spin these wheels. Hopefully we can get something good. All right, first is Legacy of the Valiant. Hopefully we get something good to start this episode off. Definitely want to hit the ground running. Looks like we're going to get an ultra rare, so let's go check out what we got. All right, well, after looking through this, now I really wish I hit Secret Rare because then I could have gotten the Excite on Knight, which is like basically a crazy version of Zeus. But, you know, we got the ultra rare. I could get another 101, which isn't a bad idea, but I think not this episode, but the following we can get access to Castell. It's only a super, so I think this time, because I'm lacking in the rank 8 department, I'm going to go ahead and grab this Sylvan rank 8 monster. It's not that crazy, but it is a way to just bounce monsters Ricardo controls. Will I play it? Maybe, but I know I have access to rank 8s in my Dragon Ruler deck if I do fall back on that again this week. But again, I'm hoping to pull something new so I don't have to play that. Let's spin the next wheel.
Well guys, getting blown out the way I did during the Zexal era wasn't exactly what I intended, but it's unfortunately what happened. And given Justin's track record in the actual Zexal era, not the progression Zexal era, but as in the actual real life Zexal era, it can't be too surprising. But that's just making excuses for what was overall not my best showing. That being said, we are about to head into the Pendulum era, which is pretty exciting. So we're going to see full power Pendulums for a couple of weeks now. Of course, it's going to take a while for us to get to those big powerful decks. That being said, before I get to the Pendulum era, I have to officially close out the Zexal era with two wheels. Once for Legacy of the Valiant and once for Primal Origin. There are a couple cards in here that would be really cool to have. Silent Honor and I believe... I forgot the other one was. It looks like I'm going to be getting the Silent Hunter. Alright, so we will be picking up number 101 Silent Honor Arc. This is a really powerful Xyz monster. I would have liked to have had it last week, but I can't be complaining, especially with the Pendulum era making Xyz so much easier to abuse.
Alright, and then now the next wheel is going to be Primal Origin. There's a lot of good stuff in here too, but I really pulled only little bits of everything, so I don't think there's like one key card that's going to really change my deck. Ultra rare again, so let's go check it out. Alright, well, after flipping through this, there's actually not a lot of really great options. My artifact package is really weak, but still, I think in the end, even though I really don't think this is a good pick, I'm going to go ahead and grab Artifact Sanctum. Really, you want multiples of this card, and I do have the Scythe, so that's pretty cool, but like sighting one Scythe with Sanctum really doesn't make sense unless I have other ways to pop my Scythe going first, so maybe there'll be a time and a place for this, and again, it's a decent side deck card, I guess, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I can brew something up. I do have some of the other artifacts, but I don't have Moraltic, so it's not good, but it's not bad, I guess. So we'll take Sanctum, put it in the collection, and really, I just can't wait to open the set this week.
And in the final wheel of Zexal, we spin for Primal Origin. A couple cards here would be cool, like the artifacts or some of the Xyz, but it looks like I'm going to be getting a secret. For lack of better options, I'm going to go with Majesty's Fiend. The rank up magic would have been really cool, but I don't think I have any Chaos monsters to really abuse it. I only have like the Silent Honor Arc, for example, not the Chaos version. I think the only Chaos version I have is like the Utopia. So Majesty's Fiend is going to be a way to go. Would have really liked to have gotten the Scythe, the Morale Tech, but Majesty's Fiend is still a pretty good option. So we close out the Zexal era with Silent Honor 101 and Majesty's Fiend.
Alright, so for this week's bonus set, I opted to open Dragons of Legend, a crazy set for this era. Comes with 4 supers and a secret in every pack, and the main chase card for us is going to be the Soul Charge as a super rare. Very insane card, but unfortunately it's already at 1 for us. So hopefully I can at least bag the 1. There's a couple other supers along the way that are pretty decent as well. There's also some really good secret rares around this time. Fire and Ice Hand are great removal and is also something that'd be really great in a Dragon Ruler deck that I've been working on. The Dragon Rulers, okay, we have 1 Dragon Ruler, but again, I have some ideas, but we'll see how our opening goes this week. Curry Bandit and Mathematician come in here too, which are great for BA and Shadal, which we could potentially hit next opening as well. So really, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can get something to make a deck with. First pack, starting out decent. There's a Mathman, just a foolish burial.
I gave Justin the option to give me either Premium Gold or the 5D's Legend Collection, and Justin went with Premium Gold. It means I missed out on a guaranteed Quasar because it was a promo, and the chance at Starlight Road, which would have been really great to add the lineup just for a defensive card. But I can't complain because the one card I want more than anything is in both sets, and that is Effect Veiler. Ideally, I will pull at least 1, but if I could walk away from here with 2 or 3, I'm not going to be complaining. There's a couple other cards in this set like Torrential Tribute and T-King that I missed out on that, well, you've seen how impressive they are, so ideally I can grab a couple of those for myself. That being said, I'm not going to complain if all I walk away with is the Effect Veiler. So here's pack number 1. Starting things off with a Tiger King, meaning that my Fire Fist now have a boss monster. Pack number 2, we get the Effect Veiler that I wanted.
Pack number 2 has our Soul Charge. Okay, this stuff's all garbage, but Soul Charge is pretty good.
Pack number 3, a second Lone Fire, a Power Tool Mecha Dragon, and a Necro Gardener.
Okay, there's our first hand, the Ice Hand, pretty good. It's also Carbogeddon, not a bad card.
Pack number 4, another Forbidden Lance. Pack number 5, another Plague Spreader. Pack number 6, I got a second Veiler.
Oh man, like I said, 90% of this is complete jank, and really, okay, well there's another Mathematician. That's like our 5th or 6th Soul Charge, but yeah, haven't really been hitting everything I wanted.
Pack number 7, I get another Lance. Pack number 8, another Lance.
Okay, 3rd Mathman. Maybe I need to play a deck that can abuse it. It was pretty good in Dolls, and I guess I could see it in BA2, dumping the Livage and then specialing something from hand. We only have the 1 Tour Guide, so that's actually a solid option as well if we do pick that deck up. But, you know, we'll see. You could also dump this Steam the Cloak in the future, so that's not a bad combo as well. We don't have Hulk, but that's not bad. All right, coming up on the close, would love some more hands, but it doesn't really look like we're going to get them. Last pack, no. All right, well, let me look over this really quick. All right, well, really the highlight outside of our Soul Charge, which we pulled like 7 of, is we got 3 Mathematician, which is pretty cool. Hopefully we can pull a deck that can abuse it. We only got the 1 Ice Hand, which is kind of disheartening for my Dragon Ruler idea, but I don't know, I have some other ideas, but really without Fire Hand to go alongside it, I don't even think I would, entertain playing it. We got some Tamaya stuff, which is pretty useless, some Steam the Cloak, some Wiretap, Carbogeddon, all the decent stuff you could pull in this we did, but again, no Curry Bandit, which is kind of sad, and just 1 Ice Hand. Kind of bummed out about that. Oh well. Well, let's move on to the other pack opening. Very excited. BA, Shadal, Satellar Knight on the table. Hopefully we can get a broken deck this week.
And in 15, we get another Light Pulsar and a T-King. Overall, this wasn't bad. I mean, we got a second Light Pulsar, which is amazing. We get a Caius, which is pretty damn good. A second Lone Fire, 2 more Plagues, but the highlight is the 2 Effect Veilers. We get a couple more Forbidden cards out of the lineup. I think the one card that I'm really missing is Torrential Tribute. Of course, I did actually get the 1 T-King, which is pretty cool. I would like to see another Stardust, though. That would have been really cool. I did get the Tiger King, so if I ever go back to Fire Fist, I now have the boss monster. Overall, this Effect Veiler makes it all worth it, though. Having 2 of them gives me one hell of an advantage going into these next couple games, so I'm very glad to have pulled them. Really looking forward to seeing what all these incredibly broken cards can add to my lineup.
All right, here we go. Duelist Alliance. Very excited for this. There are 3 really big archetypes this week from here. Satellar, BA, and Shadal all are super amazing for this day and age. And, of course, the next set we open also has support for both of them. So, hopefully we get a playable core of at least one of these decks. Doesn't have to be full, obviously, but my fingers are crossed. Let's flip it up for the first pack. doesn't look like much. Okay, there's a little bit of stuff in here that's pretty good. We got Squamata, which is a key card. Luckily, all the main deck stuff outside of the fusion spells and the fusion monsters are all common and rare. And then we have, I can never pronounce this, I always call him Anuk. He's the Foolish Burial for the deck, and really, if we get 1 Deneb and 3 of these, I would feel very comfortable playing that deck. And another cool thing is this Resonant Insect. Sorry, Ricardo. And another really cool thing is this Resonance Insect. That's really good for the Bee Troopers in the future, but again, that's a ways down the road. Let's keep going.
Our first set of the week is a big one. Not only does Duelist Alliance bring us into the Pendulum era, but it introduces some of the most heavy-hitting archetypes in all of Yu-Gi-Oh history. The Shadows, Yang Zings, Burning Abyss. This set is loaded. If I can pull a nice Yang Zing core or Shadow core, I'd be more than happy. I would very much like to not pull Burning Abyss. I do not like Burning Abyss. But man, Shadows and Yang Zing, those would be amazing. Here we go, pack number 1. Starting things off, very weak.
Pack number 2 has really... Okay, there's a Vega. That's pretty important. That is the special summon from the hand for the Teller Knights. Definitely want a few of those. Okay, here's our first rare that's pretty good, Shaddoll Dragon. Very glad we have the one. There's also Lancia, which is a common, and this is another card that's, well, it's going to be an amazing hand trap, but also really makes me not want to play Dragon Rulers this week. So yeah, I really think that this week at least, that deck is going to be dead. Let's keep going.
Pack number 2. We do get a Cloud Castle, and we do get a Yang Zing. Pack number 3, we get Shadow Dragon and a Cloud Castle, and we also get Uranus.
About a third of the way through, and this is a heck of a pack. I believe that's our third Squamata. That's our first Altair, which is the, I guess, Wolf Bark for the deck. And there is El Shaddoll Construct. This is so amazing. If we can hit 1 Shaddoll Fusion, it's so worth it. Even without Winda, I still think this would be very crazy. Let's keep going. Okay, pretty cool. More Shaddolls. There's the Falco. So in total, I believe we have 3 Squamata, Falco, and the Dragon alongside the Construct. We need to hit a Shaddoll Fusion. I think we have some polys, though, so we might be able to make something work. So let's keep going. And there's some generic Pendulum support I guess we'll take. Okay, here's our first BA, Graph. This one specials another BA from deck. Very excited for this. Was hoping to hit more. If I could get like 2 of each name, that would be amazing, especially since we do have the 1 tour guide. But, you know, I think of all 3 decks, that one's actually the hardest to pull just because they're all rares.
We get the Synchro Monster that I completely forgot was in this set. We get another Hedgehog and a White Prince in issue. We get a Hedgehog and we get a Beast, but will I see a window and, you know, a Shaddoll Fusion? That's the real question.
Okay, this pack's interesting. There's our 3rd Vega, but also there's Stormforth, which is an amazing non-targeting removal card for any of our tribute summon strategies. Very excited for this. Okay, here's a really cool pack. That's our 2nd Lancia, our 3rd Resonance. There's 001 for our Halqifibrax plays, even though we don't get access to that card. And an ultra rare Felice Lightsworn Archer. Oh, okay, I was about to skip this pack. It's a 2nd Skybridge and I believe our 3rd Anunk, but here is our 1st Hedgehog. So as of right now, 3 Squamata, 1 Hedgehog, 1 Falco, 1 Dragon. Would love a Beast, and of course, we have about 9 packs left. Hopefully we can hit a Shaddoll Fusion. Be very crazy.
We do get Construct, which is cool. And we get a Despot on the 1 as well, but can we get the Fusion spell?
No. Okay, 2nd Construct. We have to pull a Shaddoll Fusion. This is crazy. Let's keep going. All right, getting down to the wire. There's the Beast. Okay, we have every Shaddoll monster that's good now, but no Shaddoll Fusion. Let's see what happens. Okay, a few packs left. Let's keep going. Okay, 2nd Altair also. All right, so both cores are looking pretty good. The BAs I've given up on. All we have is the 1 Graph, but we got 2 packs left. Okay, final pack. We pretty much have everything we want except a Shaddoll Fusion or a Deneb. If I hit one of those 2, I think that's really going to tell me what deck I'm playing this week. So hopefully we hit at least one of them. It's a high rarity slot, but flip it up. Oh, no. Neither of them. Okay, well, all in all, this actually was a pretty good opening. We basically got 3 of all the common Satellars. We only had 2 Altair, but no Deneb. Maybe we get lucky with a wheel next week. And as far as Shaddolls go, we hit every main deck monster. There was a bunch of Skolmatas, I believe only one Hedgehog, one Dragon, and one Beast, but we did get 2 Falcos alongside double Construct. I do believe I have access to polymerization in multiple copies. Gonna have to look at the collection. So maybe if we hit El Shaddol Fusion in the next pack, I actually can make that work. But, you know, my fingers are crossed. If not, we do have 2 shots at Super Rare next week on the wheels. This core is so great. I'm just 1 card away. It's so crazy.
We do see Shadow Fusion. Well, we see Winda. Oh, it was too much to ask for. Alright, so honestly, we pulled a pretty nice Shadow core here. We have 1 Beast, triple Squad Mata. We got 1 Dragon, multiple Sonics, Shadows, Silvers, and that one edgy Hedgehog that wasn't Shadow, but it was also super edgy. We got the whole lot of them here. We got double Despot 01, which is fantastic because of course I do have the Colt Wing. Just I'm not sure how I'm gonna get to it because Ordon I think is stuck in dual overload or something. We do get the Shadow Fusion, which means that I can play Shadows this week, which is pretty damn nice. And we get our Construct. Unfortunately, no Winda, but beggars can't be chooser. We did get a Place at a Cloud Castle, which is an insane card later down the line. Unfortunately, I didn't get any Yang Zing stuff, so no Baxia for me, I guess. It's a shame. I would have loved to have played Yang Zings, but I can't complain about the Shadows here. Overall, a very solid way to start off the Pendulum era.
All right, now 24 packs of new challengers, a lot of support for the archetypes of last set, and really all we want is that El Shaddol Fusion. It'd be very nice to have a fusion spell that's recyclable, but we'll see how lucky we get. We did miss out on the regular Shaddol Fusion, which was also super, but there is some generic stuff in here too. There's Oasis of Dragon Souls, there's Danko Sekka, and even Herald of Arclight and Yazi make good extra deck cards, but we'll see what we can get. First pack, Secret Rare Virgil, Rockstar of the Burning Abyss. Not playing BA because all we have is Graph, so yeah, kind of a waste.
As amazing as our last set was, New Challengers is arguably just as good, if not better. Introducing the Cleaforts, more Performer Pals, more Shadows, Herald of the Arclight. This set is absolutely loaded. Honestly, I'd really just like to pull the Herald of the Arclight and Utopia Beyond, but what I should be hoping for is some Shadow support because, well, the 1 Construct is great, but it's not going to do much, and, well, there are a couple more Shadow Fusions in this set, as well as El Shaddol Fusion, which is a great spell card to add. So here we go, pack number 1. Not what I wanted to see.
We're playing Shaddol, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, man, that's so crazy. And we just 5 packs in. Maybe we hit another one. That'd be crazy.
We do get another Shadow in Shenk, which is very good. Hopefully I can pull an El Shaddol Fusion.
Halfway point, and we get the adorable Rescue Hamster. I love these rescue cards. Got the Rescue Cat, got the Rescue Rabbit, and now Rescue Hamster. Hopefully we can play a deck with this someday. Very excited. Okay, there's Fluffle Dog. I think that's our first. That's kind of the Stratos for the Fluffles, but I don't know if our Fluffle pulls are good enough to mix with the Shaddolls, honestly, right now at least, but we do have at least, I think, 7 or 8 packs left, so we'll see what happens.
We're at the halfway point, and I do pull a Yazi, which is very nice. I'm looking to pull like a Herald or Utopia Beyond, you know, something good here. We get the Herald. So far we've got a Shenk, we've got a Yazi, and we've got a Herald. Very happy with this so far. If I could see an El Shaddol Fusion, that would be the icing on top.
That's crazy. Danko Sekka. Ricardo hasn't been on back row though, but this card is pretty dang amazing. There's Warning and Judgment in our format right now. So if Ricardo opens that to stop these, then you know it is what it is. But if he doesn't have those, Danko's pretty dang crazy. Coming up on the close here, we got the El Shaddol, we got a Danko Sekka, but outside of that, nothing too crazy. There's an Alich. I believe we have the Calcabs as well. But last pack here, hoping for something big in the close. No. Okay, so this opening was kind of weird. We hit the El Shaddol, which is really all I wanted, so I can't complain. We hit a couple of the newer BAs that we're really not going to play alongside the Virgil. There's a bunch of fusion subs in here, and there's also some Fluffle support we probably won't touch. Rescue Hamster is very cool, but definitely won't be playable until we're playing a Pendulum deck, and even then it would have to be the right Pendulum deck. But really, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go to the drawing board. The Denko Seko is pretty cool too, but for sure I would love to bring some kind of Shaddoll deck this week. Very excited. See you guys at the deck builder.
We get Grista to the lineup, so we have 3 Shaddoll fusions at our disposal. Will I see? No. Alright guys, honestly this was an insane opening. We did not pull L Shaddoll fusions. We do get a couple more Shaddolls in Hound for the main deck. Really, we got a lot of good stuff here, but none of it really matters because I think we are going to have to play Shaddolls because, of course, we did pull 2 additional Shaddoll fusions here, but more importantly, we pulled a Yazi and a Herald of the Arclight. Herald of the Arclight is insane by itself. Yazi, this card just has potential out the ass for later down the line. Man, it's a real shame that we can't get Oridon, but we got Herald and I got some more Shadows in the lineup. Honestly, Dark Rebellion Dragon itself is pretty nice to have. These openings were insane. Things are definitely be shaken up by all these new cards out of the lineup. Not sure what I'm going to see on Justin's field. There's a lot of options, but one thing I know I'm not going to be seeing is Dragon Rulers, so that's a nice step in the right direction. This week is going to be a good one. It is time to build.
Alright guys, so after the opening, I think this is the deck we're going to be bringing this week. We are going to be piloting a very interesting version of Shaddoll. At least this is the best that I could come up with. The lineup of doll monsters we have is okay, but honestly it's not ideal, especially with Hedgehog being at 1 and it's a common. Little unfortunate there, but I am taking a baby Chaos Dragon approach, bunch of draw cards, and a bunch of ways to just dig for Poly or any of the fusion spells we have. Really, at the end of the day, we're just trying to OTK. We don't have Winda to lock him out of the game. So we'll see what we can do, but in general, we're just going to try to OTK, maybe set up some draw power or some floating if we go first, and go from there. So starting things off, we have 3 Skelmata, which is basically any name. When it's sent to grave, you can send any other doll. Also, when it's flipped, you can destroy a card, or a monster, so that's pretty cool. We got double Winda, which is probably going to be the most important doll in our deck just because of the recursion it offers. We don't have Shaddoll Fusion, so keeping this in cycle is probably going to be very important. We only pulled 1 beast, which is nice, but would have been nice to have 2. We have 1 dragon for the back row removal, which is also very nice. 1 hedgehog, like I mentioned, very sad, would have loved to have 2. And since we only have 1, I actually opted to play Shaddoll Hound. This card's actually kind of bad, but I mean, when it's flipped, you can add a doll card from your grave to hand, which is kind of neat. It's 1600, it's a level 4, which is kind of relevant in our deck, but it does have the grave effect where it's sent to the grave, you can flip a set monster face up. If it's a doll monster, it'll get the effect, so there might be some ways we can do that on Ricardo's turn with our L Shaddoll fusion here. But really, this is just to flip Ricardo's Raikou up if he's on Raikou again. He's been on that card on and off for quite some time, so, you know, it's definitely an option. Now, of course, moving on to Now, moving on to some of the new stuff, we have 3 Mathematician, newly pulled. Very excited to be playing this card. This basically equals any doll monster because we can send Skelmata. On normal, you can send any level 4 or lower from your deck to grave, and when it's destroyed by battle, you can draw 1 card. So it's great for the deck. We don't have Shekanaga, which is unfortunate, but, you know, I still think this card is going to be very important. To increase the utility of Mathematician, we opted to play 1 Felice and 1 Global. Felice, when sent from deck to grave, can special summon itself like Wolf. The cool thing is it can also tribute itself to pop one of Ricardo's monsters, and then I can mill 3 cards. And milling does trigger Shaddoll effects, but, you know, random discard effects for cost does not. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, another thing to note is it's a light for constructs, so that's pretty neat. And in addition, it is a level 4 tuner. So going second, if I have a bunch of other extenders, I could always just go Mathematician, dump Felice, bring it back. That's a Black Rose. And if I hit any of these baby dragons, then, well, we have this light in the grave to kind of combo off from there. Like I said, we have the Glow Bulb, just a good generic level 1 tuner. We're not going to really be sending it or anything off of Shaddoll Fusion because, well, we don't have Shaddoll Fusion and we don't have Shek, but I still think it's something worth playing because of Mathematician. Of course, like I said, we're playing Chaos, so I want to play BLS. I don't know if it'll come up, but it is a hell of a boss monster, so I'm just looking for ways to OTK, and if we could drop this guy after breaking a board and just pick up Ricardo's board, then, yeah, it's going to be pretty insane. So like I said, we're playing the baby dragons, which I think are really, really good in this deck. Not only being free fusion fodder if you can summon them because they'll just replace themselves, but we have so many darks to make light live that it should be pretty easy to set them up. Not only does this set up synchro plays with Felice and Glow Bulb, but also they are level 4s and we have a bunch of rank 4s at our disposal. So whether we're fusing or syncing or using them for exceeds, I think these cards are going to contribute to a lot of the combos. My only worry is bricking, but at the end of the day, we're just trying to go for game. Couple more monsters here, first being the Max C, just the best hand trap in the game. It's obviously a pretty good card, and I don't know where Ricardo is going to be on this week, but with the new format in effect, anything is possible. There is BA that could potentially be happening. Ricardo could be on Duel himself, so this card could have its own value no matter what he's playing, even against his Teller. For the last monster in the deck, which is kind of a weird choice, we're playing 2 King of the Swamp. Its main effect is you can ditch it from hand to add polymerization to hand. It also has the cool effect where it can sub out for a fusion material, but the thing is it has to replace something that's specifically listed on a card. So in the case of Shaddoll monsters, it just says any generic Shaddoll or any generic attribute. So we actually can't use King of the Swamp to sub out for Construct, which is kind of sad. But at the end of the day, I'm lacking in the fusion spell department, so I figured 2 of these with 2 polys. That's 4 polys in the deck. We're just trying to draw a doll and a light monster to go off. Moving on to the spells, we play a good amount of draw power, first being 3 Upstart Goblin. We're trying to just dig for all our power cards and our fusion spells. Any combination of lights and darks and dolls and fusions should be a good hand. In addition, we're also playing Allure of Darkness. We have a bunch of darks. The dolls could technically clog, so it'd be nice to get them out of our hand. We have card destruction. It'd be pretty interesting. I don't know if I'm going to keep it in the main if he's on BA or dolls himself, because again, this will trigger dolls and BA, so little risky, but I still think we need the draw power. The last draw card in the deck is Pot of Avarice. I do think we can burn through a lot of these resources pretty quick if we get going and don't brick. So having this in deck to recycle things, especially the Construct, could be very, very good. For the fusion spells, like I mentioned, we have the double poly searchable with the Swamp. Basically the worst way to fusion summon, but it's probably going to be the way we go to more times than not. We have the 1 El Shaddoll. This card's really insane. Not as free as Shaddoll Fusion, but we can set up a lot of OTKs, and for that reason, I really want to make sure we're playing it. We have the 1 Future Fusion, which is still pre-errata, is on the ban list. This is basically going to be our Shaddoll Fusion. We can reveal Construct and then dump a light and dump a doll. It's actually really insane. It's just not searchable in our deck, so we'll see if we can draw it and if it comes up. But really, this card is insane on paper. This card was banned at the time, and for a good reason. After that, we just have a couple of extenders. We have Monster Reborn and Premature Burial, staple stuff, whether it's setting up synchros, exceeds, or fusions. I think this is really great, especially bringing back Construct to trigger its effect, because it happens anytime it's special summoned. We have the 1 Soul Charge, which is sadly at 1. We pulled like 7 of these things, but we'll make it work. 1 Soul Charge is really insane, and like I said, we can't make the most oppressive board, but if we can dig into some of our traps, like Vanity's Emptiness, then making something to protect it could be very good. But we'll talk about that in a sec. Last spell in the deck is Refusion. This is kind of a last-minute addition. I was going to play Super Volley, but I have no clue what Ricardo's going to be on, and since I only have Construct, it would be me banking on him specifically being on a deck that plays lights. So, again, while Dolls and Tellers and the BAs all make lights because of Dante, I just didn't want to risk it because, again, we don't know what Ricardo pulled. Refusion is basically Monster Reborn. By paying 8, you could feel great and bring back any fusion monster in the graveyard. So again, just bringing back Construct. I really just think that Construct is so insane and it's going to make it to where we can OTK and break boards fairly easily. So I want to play all the cards that can abuse it the best. Moving on to the traps, we just play 3. We have Torrential Tribute, Solemn Judgment, and Vanity's Emptiness. I just feel like Ricardo's pretty aggressive, so Torrential is going to be pretty good. Plus, it'll trigger any set doll we have, and of course, we can recycle our spells with Construct if ever that's on the field. Plus, all the Chaos Dragons float as well. Doesn't trigger Mathematician, though, but I still think there is a lot of benefits to playing this card, even though it's kind of bad against dolls and BA, so we'll see what he pulls. Judgment's obviously just a power card and a great thing to set after you make a board. And Vanity's Emptiness is obviously super insane, especially when we get to the extra deck, which I'll show you. We have a way to just lock the game up with it. Moving on to the side, it's nothing too crazy. I still haven't really figured out what I want to run, but as of right now, this is what I'm rolling with. I have the 1 Danko Sekka, in case he's on a bunch of back row. 1 Thunder King, it's a good light target, and again, if he's on a deck that searches, I think this is good to go first. 3 DD Crow, I don't know what to expect, but he has plants, so maybe I side this in against that. We have 3 MST against back row and other Vanity's Emptinesses, and especially post side if there's other floodgates I might be worried about. We got Heavy Storm, Raigeki, Dark Hole, just good board breaker cards, and I am citing the Super Poly in case he is on a light-based deck. For some of the going first stuff, we have Confiscation. Obviously, looking at the hand is amazing, and that's also why we're playing the Trap Dust Shoot. And the final card is Solemn Warning. Anytime we're going first, especially if he's on like Shadal's with Shadal Fusion, this could be something that comes up pretty often. Moving on to the extra deck, of course, we have the Double Construct. Really insane and very happy. This is going to enable so much power plays if we can get to it. We have a bunch of Toolbox rank 4s, and again, like I said, with the baby Chaos Dragons, we should be able to go into these fairly easily. We have Honor Arc, which is our best removal. We have Ragna Zero in case he falls back on the Fire Fist. We have Utopia, which is basically just a light to help us go into Construct if we don't have access to a light. We also have Abyss Dweller for turning off any grave effects. This is insane against BA and Shadal. We have Ragna Zero to hit anything out of the grave. And the card I've been mentioning a couple of times, Master Key Beetle. We pulled this way back, I believe, in Tachyon Galaxy. Basically takes 2 level 4 darks to make it. So basically any of our dolls or our Wyvern Burst, or I'm sorry, the Collapse Serpents. And you can basically detach material and target a card I control. And while the Key Beetle's on the field, it cannot be destroyed by card effects. And so when we have Vanity's Emptiness, we can target the Emptiness, and we can freely activate cards like spell cards, because Emptiness will activate to try to destroy itself whenever a card's sent to the grave, and this will even protect it from destroying itself. So not only will it stop it from like MST and Heavy Storm, obviously, but the fact that it protects itself from killing itself can be very, very insane. I hope we can get to pull this off. The last succeed in the deck is the 1 Sylvan here. It's a rank 8. We do have Double Construct. Don't know if it will come up, but, you know, we got it. So I figured why not? It's also a light, but again, like I mentioned, we need 2 Construct to make it. So we'll see. We have the 1 Balmung again. I think this is just in case we need a Dark or a level 4. So we can go Math Man, dump the Bull, bring it back, make this guy. And then from there, we can summon the Collapse Serpent, like I mentioned. And that's 2 level 4 Darks, set the Emptiness, and win. We have the Brio for clearing boards. The decks are getting very extra deck reliant, so I think this is going to be very good for our 6. We have the Black Rose for the Felice play, like I mentioned. And I have Crimson Blader and Scrap Dragon as 8s. In case I make the Felice and don't use it with Mathematician, then I just summon one of these, and I can go from there. So I can have a card to pop a card when I'm trying to go for game, or if Ricardo's on, you know, Shadal's or Synchro deck, or you name it, this card can obviously steal games depending on the matchup. For the last card in the extra deck, we have the Keeper of the Sacred Tree. The way we're making this is actually with Construct and Falco. So Falco is a tuner, it's level 2. So there is going to be times where we can be summoning the Construct and using its effect to dump the Falco. On the following turn, we can use the Falco, maybe bring back Beast or a Skolmata or maybe a Hedgehog to help us get into El Shadal Fusion. But then from there, I can Synchro with the Construct into the Leo. And if we have the El Shadal engraved, then we can recycle it back to hand. And we'll already have a material on the field because we just brought back one with the Falco. So I'm looking forward to this. I think this card's very good, especially at this time. Not many cards can out this card, at least in this day and age. There's not a lot of quick effects going on. So we'll see if we go into it, but I think this card's a house, and I'm very excited to play this deck. All in all, I have no clue what Ricardo's playing. He has not given me any clues, but at the end of the day, I am very excited to play this. Hopefully we don't brick on dolls or brick on these baby dragons. As long as we see a little bit of everything, this deck should explode pretty easily. I'm excited for this episode, and I'm sure Ricardo's dying to tell you whatever he's playing, so I'm going to pass it to him. I'll see you guys at the duel.
Alright guys, the deck this week is Chaos Shadow, essentially. Starting things off, we have Raiden as our searchable tuner via Charge of the Light Brigade. We only have the one because I picked up the structure deck last week, but overall Raiden is a great card. He can mill cards just by being on the field, and he's a level 4 tuner, which we've been lacking in the series. Next up we have Plague, Spore, and Bull, because of course we are running a bunch of Light Sworns, meaning that I can mill these into the grave quite easily. Double Effect Veiler, because this card is insane, and just a free out to a lot of Justin's more problematic monsters. BLS, because of course we're playing a Chaos variant deck. And then our Shadow lineup, 1 Beast, 1 Dragon, triple Squamata, and a single Hound, and 3 Hedgehogs, Sonic, Shadow, and the edgy Hedgehog of your choice. Next up, we got the 1 Summoner Monk because we can easily bring out our Raiden or our Lila to go into either rank 4 plays or level 8 plays. We have Aaron because it allows me to get over face down defensive monsters, which have proven to be a problem. And if Justin's on Shadows himself, then Aaron is an easy out to any set Shadow monster. Next up, Double Lumina because we can revive multiple monsters, but most importantly our Raiden for a free level 7. Dandelion and Lonefire because of the plant engine. Double Raikou. Because we're playing Light Storms, we're going to go ahead and double Magician of Faith because, well, we got power spells and I don't really want to sacrifice any of them to a bad mill. So double Magician of Faith just ensures that I can bring them back. Most importantly, of course, being the Shadow Fusion. Next up, Monster Reborn and Premature to bring back whatever I mill. Card Destruction to speed up the game a little more. Foolish Burial to get whatever Shadow I need in the grave. Poly because we only have the one Shadow Fusion, unfortunately. Super Poly because, of course, we're playing Shadow, and it just ensures that I have a way to get to my Construct or my other 2 Shadows in case Justin happens to have a Fire or an Earth monster on the field. Next up, the 1 Shadow Fusion because, well, we're playing Shadows. Obviously, this card's very important. Really wish I'd pulled more, but we don't. We have to make do with what we got, and you know, it's still good at just the 1. It's just it makes it more of a hard draw or just a card I'm hoping to pull by chance. Charged Light Brigade, of course, we're just searching for that Raiden essentially, and the Lila as an out to some back row. 1 Allure of Darkness because we of course have the Shadows. Our Solemn Mine up here, again, Solemn is currently banned, so limited for us, and Warning is at 1. Compulse and Breakthrough Skill. Breakthrough Skill because we're playing Lightsworn, so easy to get this into the grave. Essentially a 3rd effect Veiler. And Compulse just because it's a way to get over a lot of problematic Seeds monsters and Synchro monsters. Onto the side, we got a 2nd Super Poly, we've got our Bottomless Trap Hole, the Royal Decree in case Justin's playing something really back row heavy, a 2nd Summoner Monk, which I'm not sure I'm going to be using, but it's there as an option. Next up, Double Forbidden Chalice and Double Forbidden Lance, Heavy Storm, Triple MST, Raigeki, and then Double DD Crow. Onto our extra deck, we got our Formula Synchron. We're adding Herald of the Arclight because this is probably my first real Omni Negate that I have access to, and of course we're going to play it. Very easy to make with this deck. Bulb Spore and Plague Spreader just basically are free Heralds of the Arclight with this deck. Next up, Magical Android because again our generic level 5. Goyo. Goyo's not going to be too good for much longer, so you won't be seeing around much after this, so it's kind of a send-off for him. Black Rose Dragon because of course it's the level 7. Michael the Arclight Sworn, picked it up from the structure deck. It's a very easy level 7. Lumina and Raiden, of course, go into this pretty quickly. We'll see if it comes in handy. I mean, I feel like I'm going to go for Black Rose more often than not. The reason I'm not playing Yazi is just because I don't have any worms to go into, so the effect should be good, but there's nothing for me to plus off of. So it just makes more sense for me to be running the Black Rose or the Michael. We got Crimson Blader because of course this card's insane, and alongside Summoner Monk and Raiden, it's pretty easy to pop out in this deck. Next up, Stardust Dragon, again just to defend against whatever Justin might have to destroy us, mainly Construct. Next up we got Colossal Fighter. It doesn't really get a big warrior buff from this deck, but the effect is always nice, and it's just a nice solid level 8 beat stick. Onto our fusions, we got all 3 of my Shadow pulls here. Got Construct, Grista, and Shekinaga. Construct is obviously going to be the main one, but these 2 are just here mainly as Super Poly targets, just in case they're summonable in any way. Onto my level 4 lineup, we got Utopia, Dark Rebellion, and number 101. Again, we have the option through Summoner Monk, so 101 is by far our best rank 4, and will probably be my default rank 4 if I play any rank 4s at all. But, you know, these 2 are just here for backup options, really. You know, this is the first episode of the Pendulum era, and we're starting things off strong with Shadows. So, I'm going to try to break the streak this time, you know. It's going to be interesting to see what Justin builds. I'm hoping that he didn't manage to pull a decent core for any of the big 3 decks coming out this week, but we'll see what happens. Either way, this one should be a good one.
Well, here we are, Justin, the Pendulum era. Zexal is behind us.
I'm sure you're happy.
Extremely happy. These sets are honestly pretty crazy. A lot of new archetypes introduced. 3 big ones. Not sure what you pulled, but I'm really excited about what I got. We also got to open 2 side sets. I got Premium Gold, and you got Dragons of Legend.
Yeah.
So if I see Ayatamayas on your field, I'm gonna be very confused. But
It's tempting. I'm telling you, 90% of that set was complete garbage. It's just there's a handful of cards in there that were meta warping, so I was really hoping to get a hold of some of them. But we'll talk about that, I guess, afterwards.
yeah, but overall, I think this one's gonna be a good one, just based off what I got alone. Not sure what I'm gonna see on your field, but
Yeah, I was definitely hoping that this week would at least change up the meta, especially since we have our new ban list, banning Oppression and then banning Redox and Blaster, really making it to where if we want to play Dragon Rulers, we have to get very unique with our strategy. So we'll see what I brought today. I know I've been on the Dragon Rulers for a while, so maybe I played it, maybe I didn't, but I'm just curious to see what you're prepared for.
Yeah. All right, then here we go.
Let's do it.
Oh,
Starting out with Drive, huh?
starting out with power.
Okay. Well,
all right.
New era, new drawing rules. We only draw 5 for
Yeah.
turn going first.
I will take first here and not draw, which is pretty weird to think about. But man, all right, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with Charge of the Light Brigade.
Okay.
So I will mill 1, mill 2, and 3, and I guess that gives it away. And
Scared. Windows a hell of a card if you got it.
oh, and I think I'm just gonna go ahead and grab Lila.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, so let's see, Summoner Monk and Shadow Dragon. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and then follow up by summoning Raiden, Hand of the Lightsworn.
That's right. You got that new structure deck. All right.
Yep.
That's a good one.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and activate his effect, and I'm gonna mill 2. Oh, unfortunate, but no effect there. And then I'll enter my end phase, and Raiden effect, I will mill 2 more cards.
Okay. Ooh, that's kind of broken.
Alright, so let's go ahead and go Chainlink 1 Hedgehog and Chainlink 2 Beast so that I play around the Ash Blossom, get that guaranteed search,
Yeah, you're good.
and then I'll draw after that. So I guess the card I'm going to want to grab to hand, I think this is a safe bet here to add Shadow Hound to hand.
Okay.
And that'll be the end of the turn.
All right, starting turn. All right, shuffle this in. All right. This is not the best hand, I'm not gonna lie, but I think I can make this work, maybe. I'm gonna start off with normal summoning a new card.
Mathematician. Yeah, that's good.
All right, we'll use the effect to dump a 4 or lower.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna dump one of the new cards I pulled, and it's a Lightsworn. Now, Felice is very similar to Wolf. When it's sent, it can special summon itself. It also has the effect that will let me tribute it to pop a card and mill 3 cards. But I think instead, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the battle phase, and I'm gonna attack. And I'll take 200.
Yeah, for that Mathematician effect.
Yeah, I'm very desperate. My hand's pretty bad. So I'll draw 1. All right. And then main phase 2, I will activate my Felice's effect. I'm going to tribute it and pop your Raiden.
That's fine.
Now I get to mill 3. 1, 2,
Ooh.
and
King of the Swamp.
Ooh,
Oh, no.
Now I got Shadow Beast, so that will trigger the effects. And I'll draw
Yeah.
1 card. Unfortunately, my hand is very bad, so I'm gonna set 1 and pass my turn.
All right, here we go. Draw.
Both on a little doll engine, huh?
Yeah. Decisions. I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and normal summon Lila. And
Good.
I'm gonna go ahead and poke for 17.
Oh, no fear. Yep. Take the 17.
Main phase 2, I'll activate Lila effect and switch to defense.
a good one.
Ooh. And then at the end phase, Lila will mill 3. Ooh. Oh.
The Veiler.
Oh.
All right. Oh my God, this hand is so bad. What do I do? I don't think it gets any worse. Oh man, this is not what I was hoping to start off with. All right. I guess I'm gonna start off with. Man, I can't even do that. I'm gonna literally just set a monster and pass. Oh.
All right. Draw. Oh, this is okay. We're gonna go ahead and start off by summoning Lumina, and then I'm gonna go ahead and discard a card from hand, and I'm gonna special summon Aaron, Lightsworn Monk.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And from there, I'm gonna go ahead and activate Allure of Darkness.
Yep. You gonna discard your
Ooh.
whole hand for me, like last time?
I might have to. Let's see here. Yeah, I think this is the card to banish here. I'll banish Squamata from hand. And I didn't revive the Plague Spreader here. And then I'll summon Plague Spreader by placing... I guess it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go ahead and put this card on top of the deck. And yeah, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and sink 6 with Lila and the Plague Spreader, and go into Goyo Guardian. Enter battle phase.
Okay.
We'll have Aaron attack. Aaron's effect will just shuffle that into the deck, and then we'll poke with 1k with Lumina, and then
Oh,
28 with Goyo.
where are my spell cards, bro?
Main phase 2, I will set 1 card, and I'll have to mill 6.
All right, there's my new win card. Deck out. Deck out. Deck out.
Ooh.
Oh my God. Deck's looking kind of nice.
And I'll pass on that.
All right, starting to. I shuffled my deck, correct? Let me check the log. Oh God. Okay, well, this is so depressing. But okay, I might be able to play. But you have a back row.
Yeah.
Let me think this through. I feel like I lose if I don't do anything, so might as well go for it. I think I'm gonna go ahead and start off by banishing a monster from my graveyard to special summon Wyvern Burster.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you pulled some Chaos Dragons, I see.
Yeah, I got a nice little Chaos Dragon package. Next, I will go ahead and normal summon Shadal Falcon.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
I will Synchro 6.
Okay.
This will summon Brionic, Dragon of the Ice Barrier.
Ooh, yeah, that's good.
I'm going to trigger the white and search the black.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to use Brionic's effect, which is pre-errata, and I'm going to bounce your back row by discarding 1 card.
Yeah, that is fine. Man, major misplay on my part last turn, but oh well.
All right. I'm going to activate Brionic once again.
Yeah.
And this time I'm going to discard Squamata to bounce your Goyo Goyo.
Yeah.
Next, I will mill for Glow Up Bulb.
Yeah. Ooh.
Then I will Brionic again
Yeah.
and bounce your Aaron.
Sounds good.
Then I will special summon black by banishing white.
Yeah.
And then I will Brionic again and bounce one of your tokens.
Yeah.
Next, I will banish a light and a dark.
Ooh.
Got this. We're going for it, bud. We're going for it. We're gonna special summon the Black Luster Soldier.
Yeah.
Enter the battle.
Yeah, that's good.
Bulb attacks a token.
What?
BLS.
Yeah, so that's gonna be what,
The
5,000?
Yep. 5,000.
Hold up, wait.
73. 92. Come on, let's go.
I feel bad because I should have had this game. I fucked up.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh.
My hand was so bad. I literally had 5 doll monsters in my hand and nothing else. That was crazy.
I'm so mad.
my God.
I forgot that Bulb was in my grave.
Man,
All right.
what a crazy game. I should have
Man.
lost. I'm so surprised. I mean, you said it yourself, the glow bulb you missed in the grave, but the fact that I found a way to do 8,000 with my bricky hand is so
I'm so angry. Like, you'll see why later, but I should have won that one. Oh, that was disappointing. All right. Let's see here.
Okay, I have at least a decent hand now. It's not a hand of Shadal's.
Man, it's kind of rough, but not the best way to start this one off. I'm gonna go ahead and set 1, and we got to get these mills going. So I'm gonna summon Lumina.
All right.
At end phase, Lumina effect will mill 3. Hedgehog and Dragon. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and Hedgehog effect to search a shadow.
Sounds good.
And I think in this case, I want to add. Let's go ahead and add Guamata to hand. And that's where I'll pass.
Alright, starting turn. Alright, main phase 1.
Yeah.
Start off with Upstart Goblin.
Yeah.
Alright, and after that, I will activate Alert of Darkness.
Yeah.
Draw 2. Don't really have too much I can do. Well, I think I will banish this black.
Yeah.
Next, I will normal summon Mathematician.
Yeah. That's good.
Activate the effect, and I'm going to go ahead and dump Squamata to grave.
Yeah.
Squamata effect, dump any
Yeah.
small card. I'm going to dump Beast to grave to draw 1 card.
Yeah.
Alright, draw 1. Let's see. I think next I'm going to banish one of those dolls to summon my Wyvern Burster to the field. Sounding good?
Yeah.
Alright, and then after that I'm going to activate Polymerization.
Yeah. I gotta go with the warning here.
Alright. Well, no fusion summon, but I got a couple of floaters here. So let's go Wyvern into your Lumina.
Yeah. And then 1,500.
And then main phase 2, I think I'll just pass the turn.
Alright, draw. Ooh. That's interesting. A lot I can do there. I'm going to go ahead and start off with Foolish Burial.
That is a good one.
And in this case, I think I have to dump Dandelion.
Alright, you got your broken one of, and since you activate that dandy effect, I'll use my broken one of.
Ooh.
Draw 1 card.
That's... I think it's the first time Maxi's actually done something here.
Yeah, it's been around, but nothing like devastating.
Next up, I'll pay 800 and I'll give you the draw, but in exchange, I'll grab Spore.
Okay.
Next up, I will sink 2
Oh, you just
and go
play
into
it, huh?
Formula Synchron.
Okay.
Formula effect to draw. And, man, I got no real choice here. I gotta banish the Dandelion for Spore.
Okay. I'll take all the cards that you'll give me, man. I'm not gonna complain.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and sink 5 into Magical Android. And think that's where I gotta end my turn. So at the end phase, Magical Android will give me 600 life points.
Not even gonna
And
attack, huh? Don't want to give me more free cards.
nope. So that's where I gotta pass.
Well, I got a lot of options now. So, let's see here. Standby, main phase.
Yeah.
Let's start off by activating the effect of King of the Swamp to search Polymerization.
Yeah.
Poly will go to hand. Next, I'm going to go ahead and activate that Polymerization.
Yeah, that is fine.
We'll send White and Falco to Grave, and we're going to summon the glorious El Shaddai Construct.
Yeah, that one is rough.
So Falco 2, Construct 1. We'll summon the Falco in face down defense,
Yeah.
and then Construct will dump 1. In this case, what I think I'm going to go ahead and do... Yeah, I also get my Black Search. I'm going to go ahead and dump Squamata to Grave and add the Collapse Serpent to hand.
Yeah.
Squamata effect will dump another doll, and in this case, I'm going to actually dump to the graveyard El Shaddai Fusion. Got one fusion spell. Not too bad. Next, I think what I want to do is... Man, there's actually a lot of options. I'm in a weird spot with your board, so I'm going to attempt to leave the main phase and enter the battle phase. Is that okay?
I will chain Formula Synchron's effect.
Alright, still main phase. Go ahead and chain that.
And I will sync 7 for Black Rose.
Yep, that's good.
And I
So
gotta go for it.
Falco will go, and then Construct effect will activate, adding back that El Shaddai to hand.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. Next, we're going to go ahead and special summon that little Collapse Serpent.
Yeah.
Banish the white. And then next... Man, a lot of options here. I think I'm going to go ahead and activate Monster Reborn and target that
Ooh.
Falco.
Yeah.
After that, I will Synchro 6. Make that Brionic again. And then black will activate to search white.
Yeah.
And we'll activate El Shaddai Fusion.
Yeah.
Send the white and the dragon. And we're going to summon a second construct.
Ooh. Yeah, that's
And
gonna be
use
good.
The construct to dump Hedgehog.
Yeah. That is good.
Hedgehog will then add Falco to hand. And, well, that's already enough. I can keep going, but let's see what you got. Battle phase.
No, that is game.
Good
Man,
game, man.
No, man, this one should have gone to game 3 because I had a Bulb in the Grave and Lumina on field.
Oh,
Ah.
Arclight. Nice.
I
Yeah,
should
mean,
have. Ah.
Crazy. Well, I think this is the second time where we've had it to where you recognize something after the fact. It's really unfortunate when it happens.
Man, that one was rough.
Crazy game though. I love that we played like a Shaddai kind of mirror. Yours is like more of a Lightsworn package, and mine's more of a chaos build. Pretty cool. I was ready to go off.
My hand was nothing but shadows.
That's my game 1. Crazy, right?
Yeah. So luckily for me, I did manage to pull the one Shadow Fusion.
That one's pretty dang broken.
As for the lineup, we got Grista, we got Shen, and the one Construct.
Oh, yours is looking pretty nice.
Yeah, I unfortunately no Winda, but the wheel, however, gave me a pretty damn good card in Silent Honor 101.
Yeah, man. Well, just looking at your deck, this is a pretty dang cool deck list. You got a lot of Lightsworns. You even got to play your plants, which is pretty cool. Obviously, the Shaddai package is pretty heavy. You got the one Poly, one Super Poly. You got yourself the Shaddai Fusion, which is pretty dang good. For me, I took a similar approach, and I tried to supplement my doll engine with as much as I possibly could. My logic this week was either play a bunch of draw cards to draw my fusion spells, or play as many fusion spells as possible. So you saw it earlier. I had King of the Swamp. I actually opted to play 2 of it. I was very desperate. I only have the 2, but it does sub out for fusion materials, but it doesn't work for Shaddoll monsters. It can only sub out for something that's specifically listed on the card, unfortunately. But I can still ditch it, and I can use it to search one of my 2 polys. So right there by itself, that's 4 fusion spells. And then as you saw, I had the L Shaddoll. I didn't pull Shaddoll Fusion, unfortunately, but, at least I have 1 in-archetype fusion spell. And then the Spice for this week, we had, of course, the Super Poly, but that was in the side deck. I only put this in because I saw you were on something similar to me, and I thought it would be crazy. And a card that it looks like you forgot existed as well, Future Fusion, which is essentially a Shaddoll fusion.
I remembered about it, but I wasn't sure if this was pre-errata or not.
Yeah, as long as it's banned, it's pre-errata. Once it comes off the ban list, it'll be errata. But for now, it's pre-errata. And, well, I mean, my approach was a little different. I didn't play the Light Sworns. You saw I got the one new one. This one was pretty cool. And it actually worked out because, I don't know if you saw, but I pulled 3 Mathematicians in my opening, and I was actually hoping for Fire and Ice hands because I had an idea to play Dragon Ruler again. Even though I have the 1 title, I figured if I got a bunch of Ice hands and Fire hands, it's more waters that would work with title. And I had some combos to where even with 1 Dragon Ruler, I had it to where with the Heretics I could still make Draco Sack. But I just felt like the pulls weren't that good in the hand department. I think I pulled 1 Ice hand and that was it. But I did manage to pull 3 Mathematician and probably like 7 Soul Charge. Unfortunately, Soul Charge is already at 1 for us, so, I still played it. We'll see how it plays out in history, but my doll package was pretty interesting. I had 3 of the Skulmata, but after the Skulmata, everything else was pretty lackluster. I had 2 of the Falco, which is important to the grind game, so I'm glad I have that. But other than that, I literally only had 1 Beast and 1 Dragon, and I even only opened 1 Hedgehog, which I'm super devastated by, which is a common, which is crazy to me. So I also played 1 Hound like you did. I really didn't want to play this card, and it did contribute to my first game bricking, but it's just like I wanted to maximize the names because since I don't have Shaddoll Fusion, the only way I'm fusion summoning is by drawing a Shaddoll monster, and I felt like I needed another name since I was lacking in that department. Maybe I played too many this time around, especially since I have Mathman. Maybe I could have cut back on it, but I guess hindsight's 2020. If I play this deck next week, maybe I would change that. But, I figured with the Mathman, it was pretty cool. I had the Light Sworn to go into like a Black Rose play if I needed it. I also have the Glow Up Bulb, which is pretty cool because that also triggers the dolls, which I'm sure you know. But it's also cool because it makes the Fighter Balm, which is a pretty cool level 4. And another unique thing about my deck is I didn't want to be too reliant on the Shaddoll monsters as far as fusion summoning because I knew my fusion spells were lackluster. So by playing the baby Chaos Dragons, it enabled a lot of rank 4 plays. And with my last opening, I had the Honor Lark like you do. I don't have the Exciton Knight, which I really wish I could have pulled, but at least I have that. And then you've seen some of my other generic rank 4s. I have the Dweller, which I'm obviously going to play. The Ragnar Zero I only played in case you were back on Fire Fist. I have the number 80 in case I need to hit cards out of your grave. And then my little spicy tech this week, which didn't come up, I played the 1 Master Key Beetle, which takes 2 darks, so I can make him with any of the Shaddolls. I can make him with the Collapse Serpent or even the level 4 Synchro here. So that way, if I draw into my Vanity's Emptiness, then, it's just another way to completely steal a game.
Yeah, I figured that with Oppression Band, I would be seeing Vanity's Emptiness. So in the Premium Gold, I did pull a Tiger King. Like the one thing I'm missing is the Winda. I would have loved to get some more Shadow Fusions, but I'm happy with just the 1, honestly. That's all I really need to play. Game 1 of the Pendulum era is over. 0 Pendulums were played. Just the way it should be. But Shadow Mirror was fun. I'm going to be salty about the Herald until next week. That's just how it has to be, I guess. Opening these sets felt really good. A lot of good stuff. A lot of change happened pretty much instantly. Really looking forward to next week, honestly.
Likewise, there's so many different things. We got our wheels next week. Glad I have the winner's wheel for next week because it just makes it that much more likely to at least hit some good cards. I think this is a really cool period of Yu-Gi-Oh's history. So, I'm glad we're past the Dragon Rulers as much as I love them, because now it makes it to where I can kind of mix things up. The first few episodes of the series, I tried to bring a new deck every week. So now that we're getting all these new cards, it makes it that much easier for me to try to mix it up on you again.
But until next time, see you guys.